With me today, I have Shannon Hoch, who is the general manager of Missouri Meerschaum Company. Thank you for being with us today. I really appreciate you sharing your time with us. I wanted to, I wanted to talk a little bit about your new Elite line and maybe some of the other things that you guys have coming up. Can you tell me a little bit about how that got started?
Well, how we decided to come about with the Elite line is we've always been kind of pressed to come out with new ways to do our cobs. And in order to do that, with some of our equipment that we had, since we've been next year in business for 155 years,
That's incredible.
certain things came about. Like one thing was OSHA. So you can't do a lot of what was done earlier in our business the way you do things now, because we actually do mass producing of our products with the same safety standards. So in order to do that, it takes us a lot longer. And we don't have the same machinery that we used to have on to be able to do some of the finishes and bowls and styles that we did, because back earlier in our history, we hit some rough times and a lot of our machinery was sent to scrap. So what I wanted to do and our team wanted to do was bring back some of the styles and some of the ways that we used to do things and kind of use those same practices. But in order to do that, we couldn't necessarily put out mass quantities and they would take a lot more labor. So we wanted to do an Elite line. So it was the line that was going to take a lot more time, a lot more craftsmanship to do, but it really needed its own subdivision of what we typically do, and it really needed its own logo and trademark, which we're going after for that line, and that's where we came out with the MMC Elite.
Okay.
For that.
Yeah, because I've noticed that a lot of those pipes in that line now have kind of a Cumberland or a hybrid acrylic stem on those pipes that kind of enhance the look and and for me also the durability and the quality of the pipe.
Yeah.
My favorite Missouri Meerschaum pipe used to be the in the Cobbett series, the Elf.
Yes.
And I would smoke those. And now you've got this this beautiful bluish orange kind of stem work that goes with it now. What's that? The Starry
Night.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I really love that stem. And then even the new one that you've got with the red, the summer red stem, that's kind of cool. That really is.
Thank you.
So, is there anything else that's is there a different line, or what do you have? Your Missouri Meerschaum standard, or?
So what I always, I don't know, we do quite a bit, and it's a blessing and a curse all at the same time, because we definitely don't want people to get so numb because we put so much out there. However, when I really listened to the community, because we do truly listen to the community, we got a lot of, we definitely want to have variety in each of the stages. So you have your I would say your basic line, and then you have your midline, and then you have your Elite line. Well, I'd like variety in all of them, because some individuals were perfectly fine with our basic line and they don't want to go any further, but I'd still like them to have choices within that basic line for, hey, or you can have some out of each of our lines, but hey, this is the one that I go fishing with, or hunting with, and I don't want to take a what you call an elite one to that.
Yeah.
Or, I use this one to go mowing and I mowed over it. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It doesn't hurt my feelings. But, if you don't like the bent version, or you would rather have a shorter, nose warmer, or you only have 10 minutes to smoke, I want to make sure that I have that bowl available and that pipe variety available for you within that line. So we're constantly trying to develop, keep it a little bit on the fresh side, but I want to do that in our basic. I want to do that in our midline, and I want to do that on the elite side. I want to try to appeal to every one of our, which I'm totally lucky to have, the individuals that are interested in our pipes.
Yeah.
And that's why we constantly listen to our customer base when they tell us, I think this might work, or I think this might work, because we've gotten a lot of wonderful ideas from individuals.
Well,
I think if you stop listening.
I'm sorry, your selection of pipes is incredible. I mean, there's so many to choose from. I mean, anybody in a pipe smoker is going to find something in your lineup that they're going to enjoy.
That's what I hope for. And I also think when you start out pipe smoking, sometimes you're not sure, well, most of the time you're not, about what pipe suits you. And I hope that you come and use a corncob to figure out what style is your style. Or, you pick up a couple different ones for certain blends. Like, you just wouldn't want to use this one for any other, type, like a, really strong English, or, you would rather have a church warden for this type of blend, trying to get your feet wet, so to say, so. And that's what we're constantly, going for, that you have enough room to play.
Yeah. Well, that brings me to my selection of your lineup, which is the new Cadel, the Elite. How did you get the name for that?
It's actually the Cadel. I kind of looked at, really, we sit and we constantly have name wars over what we're going to name our pipes. And it actually it comes from strength, is kind of the meaning behind it. And when we really looked at this, we didn't, when we looked at the ones that came, the predecessors that came before our reverse calabashes, they were big. And they were, in my opinion, though I loved them and I do own them, I didn't want this one, nor did our team want it to be very cumbersome. But we wanted it to be kind of on the smaller side, but mighty. So we kind of picked the name that meant strength. And I personally, this is one of my go-to pipes in our collection, because I just think it smokes beautifully.
This has been an incredible smoke for me. You got me this back in Chicago in the Chicago show, and I probably smoke it once a day, every day since then. This has become my travel pipe in my truck, and what I love about it is I don't have to worry about. I'm in my truck. I drive 40 miles to Dallas each day, from there and back, for work. And I don't have to have an assortment of pipes in my truck. I can keep this one pipe in my truck and smoke it without worrying about rotation, or overheating it or whatever, and you're right. With the reverse calabash chamber, it just smokes wonderfully. I have a Radice that's very similar. Let me see if I can get it. There we go.
Yes.
It's very similar to that. Come on. Boy, all these black screens and green.
So you are making me thirsty on a Friday. Yep.
There we go. So, I mean, and it smokes very, very similarly. I'm very impressed with the draw. with the cooling effect. Um, I told you the first time I smoked it, I smoked one of my favorite flakes in here. It's the H.H. Latakia flake from McBaron.
Okay.
And usually that has a little sting to it. The McBaron does a little bit. And with this pipe, that sting was gone. All I was getting was just true kind of a Latakia flavor, which really turned me on to it. And since then, like I said, I've been smoking it at least once a day, every day. And I smoke all sorts of different things in it now. Virginias, vapors, even aromatics. No ghosting, no nothing. It's really wonderful. It's a really wonderful pipe. What so it's kind of a nose warmer, and is that's what you were going for with that?
It really wasn't my end game to make it a nose warmer, even though that is essentially what it ended up. But what I was really aiming for was to have a reverse calabash again that wasn't, so cumbersome, but it did travel easy. And it wasn't necessarily that at your first glance you thought, oh, that's a reverse calabash, but I really wanted to be portable, but I really wanted, and which I just achieved the first time that I smoked it. I just couldn't have been any more delighted with it. Was that you smoke it and just the smoke itself, you were just like, I just enjoyed my smoke so much with it, and I thought it was so smooth. But I also texture wise, because I'm an individual that is very much into texture, the feel of it in my hand, I just loved it. And just charring the outside of this just did something for the feel of it. And I can pick up our cobs and about the size that we make them and the size that we want, and say this was made for the hand. This is made for the hand. It's easily made for the pocket. It's easily traveled, but yet it will provide a nice smooth smoke. That's why it's been hard to even want to test out our other pipes, which I do, but I'm like, but it gives me something to compare other pipes to.
Yeah,
and I really like it.
The finish on this one is really incredible. I love that charring that you were talking about. It's got a glaze on it too, a little bit, and it's tactile because of the grooves in the natural corn cob, but it's also feels like it's filed down a little bit, maybe buffed.
Yeah, but it's the neat thing about that is it really wasn't. We do a tumbling process. It's probably why it feels like it was more filed down, just to take that little chet out of the corn. So that's when that happened. But then once you put that glaze on it and then you charred it, it just provides such a beautiful finish to it. And I love that they're just each, since they're done by hand, they look so different. Each of them looks so different.
When assembling the shank or the mortise here into the bowl, what do you use as an adhesive? Or is there one?
It's the same. It's a pretty tight fit, but that is the same. That's just like it's that food grade glue that we use on everything else. It just dries clear. So a lot of individuals, that's just the same thing. You're putting that same, and then it's that glaze still that's over it, and then so it just works seamlessly through there.
Well, mine is a very tight fit. I mean, it doesn't look like it's going to move at all. So construction wise, it's super sturdy.
Yes, and that's why it takes us a while to get them through. That's again that elite line, because it does take a little bit of extra time. We want to make sure that we get that fit the best as possible as we can. That we're just making sure that because it's important to us that when you're getting your pipe that you like it. At this price point, we know that labor wise what we have to ask for, but we're also asking every individual. We're saying we're putting our best foot forward here. We want you to have the absolute best smoke that we believe we can provide. So it's very important to us. The quality on these is very important to us.
Was there any thought about at any point making this a filtered, or is that not, was that not in the picture?
Actually, we are coming out with, and I don't know, did I have them in Chicago? The filtered nines. So we are going to be coming out with the filtered nines. I have one here. They'll be in straight and bent versions.
Hold it up a little bit. Hold it up a little. There we go.
This is the first one we'll be releasing. It'll be in a straight and a bent, and it comes with a 9 charcoal 9
9mm.
9mm filter. So
who makes that filter?
John Claude will be making these filters for us. Just wanted to make sure I didn't have that wrong. But yeah, so this, and that should be out, I'm gonna say probably within the next 2 to 3 weeks is when we're going to put this one out. There's a few individuals out there that already have them, very few, because I only took them to one show. So, but
is that a hardwood?
Yes.
What Mortise? Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah,
that looks great.
They're beautiful as well. So,
and that's about a normal length pipe, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. I think I have normal around here.
Well, I know what I'll be spending some money on when it comes out then.
Yeah, so I've got the Lewis here. So it's a little bit, just a touch longer, but not by much. Not by much. So yeah, I think they're gonna be real nice. So I'm looking forward to having those out.
What's the price point on that?
I haven't even overly figured that yet. So just was more curious about getting them done in here and seeing what all of the labor was to get into them, because again, I wanted to make sure they do have a different finish on the outside and getting them, nice. And so I haven't even sat down to figure that out. Slacking, Tom. I went on vacation for a little jaunt and had a wonderful time. I'm getting back into the flow of things, but I missed everybody.
Well, you deserve a little bit of break every now and then.
I do have to tell you, asked me if there was anything new coming out.
Yeah.
And there is. Let me see here. On July 21st, we actually launched the MMC Elite Tobacco line.
Oh.
So, yes. So we haven't talked much about it. We finally just pinpointed when we're going to be releasing that. And there's going to be 3 in that line. So you're going to have your aromatic, your Virginia, and an English. One is called Drawdown, one's called Luminaire, and one is called Party Line. So we're going to be doing a lot more talking about those. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Who's blending that for you?
That's going to be C&D.
Okay.
All right. C&D is blending that for us. So
very good.
Yeah, we worked on it for quite some time, so we're really excited. So
I was looking through your website, and I was also noticing some of the really cool accessories that you guys are selling as well. There was a leather pouch, a leather bag that I came across. How long have you been doing that bag?
Oh, I would say probably 3 or 4 years.
Man, that's gorgeous.
Thank you.
That is a gorgeous bag. Yeah. So what is it, like a travel bag? You put your pipe, tobacco.
Yeah. It's really nice. So, and it's just, once you feel it, it's really nice, kind of like brushed a little bit. It's really nice. So we actually sell quite a few of those.
Well, I imagine they're beautiful bags, perfect for day trips, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I've got that big bag that I take to conventions, but when you're just going to work or just out for the weekend or whatever, that's a perfect one.
Yeah, I could not agree more. On that. So, Tom, what I have a question for you.
Sure.
This is a question I just love to ask people. So, is there a pipe out there that you did not purchase that you wish you would have?
Yes.
What is it?
You talking about at the Chicago show?
Just at any show, it has to be memorable because usually when you pass one up that you wished you would have bought, that you didn't.
Yeah, I'm particular to the Italian school,
Uh-huh.
and there's a couple of new carvers um, coming out of the northern Italy that's really doing some magnificent work. There was one gentleman there at the Chicago show, uh, and the brand name of the pipe is called Cerchio, Il Cerchio, which means in Italian the circle.
Uh-huh.
And he had a beautiful Canadian, and I love Canadians.
Okay.
I'm a sucker for Canadians, and he had a beautiful Canadian with a mammoth accent on it,
Wow.
and I had told myself, don't spend a lot of money, Tom. You're gonna go to some other shows this year, and you want to make sure that you don't shoot your wad all at once. And I think he was selling it for like $550 or $600.
Yeah.
Well, when I came home, I found out that Smoking Pipes has picked him up, and so he sent that pipe to Smoking Pipes as one of his samples that they were going to sell. And of course, it was bumped up probably 50, 60, $70, than what I could have got it at the show. So that was one of the pipes that I wish I would have bought that I didn't get to buy. But, the cool thing about all of this is that there'll be another one tomorrow.
Yeah.
There'll be another tomorrow, and I'll want it, and I'll figure out some way to buy it.
True.
Now, I can tell you at the Chicago show, I did find a pipe that I've always wanted.
Yes. Did you get it?
The doctor pipes?
Yep.
He Redeemed Pipes, which is an estate pipe seller.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Had a doctor's pipe that I was I walked by that table at least a dozen times, and that's when people that they've got you. They know that if you walk by and hold the same pipe 3 or 4 or 5 times, you're going to buy that pipe. Yeah. So that's kind of the situation that I had with this one, and it's a calabash. Let me show it to you real quick.
All right.
It's a calabash.
Oh, Warren, yeah, look at that.
And it's hold on, let me get over here. There we go. It's a 360 degree grain on that.
See it.
It's got whale spine on the cap. It comes off just like a calabash does. Let's see here. Yeah, there we go. And the bamboo on this is just absolutely gnarly. Look
I was just going to say that is.
Yeah.
You are correct.
That is just, and the cool thing about it too is I don't know if you can see well enough, but right there on the stem, do you see the design at the bottom of that stem?
Oh, right there.
Yeah.
You probably can't see me pointing at it, but yeah, right there.
It's pretty unique.
Little ridges.
Yeah, it's pretty unique, and it's a beautiful pipe. And honestly, I've not smoked it yet, so I'm waiting for that perfect time, But anyway.
Oh gosh.
How many pipes do you have? Do you have a bunch of pipes?
Oh my goodness. I'm almost ashamed. I'm pretty sure that when people come down, so we got a house last year, and we're currently working on the man cave. I might be part man. But it's I don't even know how many I own, Tom, but it's getting to be embarrassing. And honestly, I don't really know. I thought maybe about trying to do something like on a wall where you would like open up a case, or how do you all of them? Where do I end up keeping? Not only that, because then I also collect everything that has to do with smoking. So I mean, from everything from uh, ads to old vintage, even, smoking tins to, ash. I love old ashtrays. I don't know how many I've got. I mean, I've got accent tables that even have like cigar bands, all vintage, bands on them I mean, I'm quite ridiculous. And so they're going to go downstairs and they're going to think my husband really knows his stuff. But really,
it's all yours. Yeah.
it's going to be 80% me, but they're going to go down there and they're going to be, man, you are awesome. And Brett's going to be like, I really am.
I have a lot of pipes as well. I just can't part with any of them.
Yeah.
Some guys are able to cull their collection and use the money to buy more pipe stuff. I can't do it. Each pipe has some sort of significance to me, and I just have a hard time getting rid of them.
Yeah, and not only that, with my father being in the industry well before me, we're both terrible. I mean, I brought back from Chicago bricks of tobacco, and that was just so I could put it on my father's desk and tell him that I beat his tobacco collection. So we have tobacco aging places and put back here, and I mean, it's fun. That's really what it is. It's just a lot of fun to me. And then when I go down, I remember, oh, when I got this, and I'll go somewhere and bid on a cabinet, and my husband's like, where are we going to put that? And I'm like, oh, don't worry, we'll find somewhere for it.
We have all of our kids have moved out. We have a big house, and upstairs were all the kids' rooms. Well, now two of the rooms have been converted to tobacco cellars because,
Good.
yeah, I mean, what else are they going to be used for, right?
Well, first of all, that's a hint. There's no room.
You're right. Yeah, the room that I have for tobacco, it's pretty full. It's pretty full. My wife is really good about collecting things as well, tins and.
See?
She found me a 50-year-old tin of half and half.
Oh wow!
It was filled with tobacco.
Yeah, and that doesn't surprise me with talking to her at all.
Yeah, she's just a great. She's got a good eye.
Yes.
She's really good about that. So I'm real lucky that she supports me in my bad habits.
Well, I mean, but their actual artwork on there is phenomenal on some of those tins. I mean, just looking at them is just fantastic. That's why I love vintage stuff so much. And my whole house is riddled with it because truly I don't think things such as that are made the same. I mean, the artwork is just spectacular.
You're right.
I think we make it for nothing, recreate it for nothing now because it was actually beautiful artwork back then.
So much of the new stuff is so generic looking.
Yeah.
And you could tell that there was pride in what they did back in those days. And I was going to say the same thing about this. I love the rusticness of this because it sets me back a little bit. I look at it and I think, this could have been a pipe that my grandpa smoked. But it performs, up to the standards that all of us have it today. So, yeah, I really love this pipe. I appreciate you taking care of me with this one.
Well, I mean, and that's the important thing to us is that we do stand behind our products, and we really do, each and every one of the individuals downstairs, it's important to them to put out a good product as well. And it's important when we sit down and come up with another one or trying to, I mean, the different colors with our, bits that have been coming out, stems, we did that because we were getting a call to have, I wish you guys had some more colors. And I didn't think that some of the wild colors would go over the way they did. I thought, oh, well, I'm going to jump in and see what happens. And they just took off. But
a lot of folks are buying your cobs, sending them off and having them tweaked with new stems and stuff, or at least that's what they were doing.
Right.
And basically what you've done is cut out the middleman. It's what you've
Right.
done. Yeah. I think it's brilliant. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my little timer up here says that I'm fixing to run out of time because I'm cheap. I don't spend money on Zoom.
You send me an email and I'll send you the dates. But when you guys, if you guys decide to come, please let me know, because we'd love to get together with you guys when you are here.
That sounds great.
Don't just come and think that you're going to get away from me.
We will do that. We will definitely do that.
All right. Take care of yourself until I see you again.
Thank you very much, Shannon. Appreciate it.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye-bye. You too.